Hello and welcome to this week TDF update. This week we had a little team retreat in the beginning of the week with the folks on the ground, harvesting some learnings from this season of implementing TDF. We also had a community call on Wednesday with a broader community. And yeah, the update of the week is basically that TDF is slowing down a little bit and we're preparing to shut down for the winter. And unfortunately, at this point, we haven't yet received enough support for our 300 mandatory supporters required to keep the place running. So at this point, we're starting to look at what does 2024 look like, including the possibility of not reopening for guests next year. So with heavy hearts, we continue our work and we hope that things will turn around and we are starting to look at what the future of TDF looks like. If you'd like us to reopen in 2024, we highly recommend that you subscribe to a Wanderer or a Pioneer package. But also, if you'd rather contribute with a one-time contribution, we do have a couple of packages on the supporters page. One of them is a co-living package where we're inviting you to come and live with us between March and June 2024. And if we get enough people to subscribe to this package, we will be able to run the place for the given months. If we don't get enough support, then of course it's without risk. We'll be refunding any packages that we're not able to cater to. And with that, I will let Ismail update us on the week's numbers in terms of traction and how we've been doing with the campaign. And see you next week.
Thank you, Sam. And yes, here with a little update on the numbers. We currently have 917 subscribers, and after Wednesday's call, we also have quite a few new subscribers. We now have 67 Wanderers and 7 Pioneers, which makes it 74 paying subscribers. Still, there's quite a bit of room left to reach the 300. So once more, please do make sure to check your subscription if you're a paying subscriber already, and if not, become a paying subscriber and share this with friends and families. And also, we do have a form. If you want to contribute to TDF with more than the 10 or 30 euros per month subscription, we'll put a link of the form where you can just fill your name and how we can reach you. And then we can hopefully make sure to get the 3,000 euros revenue per month in by end of the year. All right, Max, do you maybe want to tell us a little bit about your experience as a co-liver, as you were the very first co-liver of TDF?
Yeah, it's been pleasant so far. Actually, kind of exactly what I was looking for in terms of escaping colder temperatures in Berlin. So being in a warmer place that combines nature, good people, some of them are friends, some of them become friends, and co-working facilities, strong enough internet, a co-working space, partly like-minded people that are working on similar things, but then being able to, if the weather is good, having an office outside and seeing the sheep graze there and having amazing food cooked right there for you. So I think that combination is just really nice package, really.
Super nice. Do you want to share with us how long you've been around?
I've been around, must have been a month now, pretty much. So I used this as my base, which was another nice concept I found, to have this as my primary base. But I have a lot of friends in Portugal, so from here then I can go down to Algarve or up to Lisbon and see friends, but have this as my primary workspace and living space.
Super cool. Anything else you would like to add? Would you come back next year as a co-liver for a couple of months or some time?
It's always hard because I can't plan my next years, but the concept works quite well for me. So yeah, actually what makes this co-working space and community different to other co-working facilities that I've looked at and been at is that here not only do you have a massive piece of land at the back where you can just play around and go to sauna and go for nice walks, but also you have a garden. So if you're into gardening, tree planting, farming in general, you can get your hands dirty on the weekends or after work, or play around in the workshop. I personally love to play with wood, so I know after work I can use 1 or 2 hours and build some shelves, contribute further to the community, or work on my own projects. So that's, I think, if you're looking for a place where you can co-work but also kind of get more engaged with your hands and physically with the land, so that's something that I haven't seen so much in other places.
What are you guys up to today?
Hello.
Hello.
We are preparing new beds for new veggies for the winter garden. Right now, we are removing the rest of the weeds, adding compost, and getting that compost deep into the ground. And then we're going to be planting here onions, beets, and cauliflower. And we're going to plant a few more things like garlic and leeks throughout the rest of the beds. And then harvest them in the spring and have food when we come back.
So actually, is it starting now? Before this bed was like this compost pile that we are doing now. It had potatoes and Chinese cabbage, and I'm gonna cook the potatoes. They're really nice, small new potatoes for lunch, with a salad of radish and cabbage and Swiss chard, and we are gonna do kimchi with the Chinese cabbage that we harvested. So it's good, we are getting good production.
So what are you guys up to this week?
This week we have the Hackathon week from Smart Huts x TDF at TDF. And the goal is to see what we can do within a week, like what we can achieve in terms of measuring and sensoring all the different flows at Traditional Dream Factory. So the ultimate goal is to really get some insights into our consumption patterns here for water, for power, for food production, waste production, so that we can better see what it is exactly that we need and that we require in order to be able to track how regenerative we really are. And also based on the data that we receive, we can see which processes are operating better or can maybe be improved in terms of performance. In order to achieve that goal this week, we are installing sensors in different locations. So we are going to track the solar power production, the battery storage, like what we take from the grid, what we feed into the grid, as well as the waste that we produce. I mean, we're probably not going to be able to achieve it this week, but in the longer term, we want to track paper, glass, plastic, metal, and general waste production. We want to be able to track all the different kinds of food that we produce. And also we have like special plugs that go into the sockets everywhere, so we can track everything from dishwashers to water cookers to lighting, everything that consumes power. And finally, actually the most important thing that we want to be able to track this week is our water consumption patterns. So, you know, how much water do we consume, how much water do we recycle, how much water do we use for irrigation, like are there any leakages in that process, things like that. So with all these measurements, like we are really making a next step towards digitizing all the resource flows at TDF and tracking our regeneration.
Amazing. Any success stories so far other than a significantly improved Wi-Fi connection for everybody?
Oh, maybe I'll let Matthijs.
Yeah, so we did a prototype with these smart plugs. They're $7 each, so it's the kind of thing you can really scale up, spread around. It's a mesh network, so the more you have, the more reliable it'll be. And we can already measure the kitchen usage, the usage in the activity room, as well as the office. And we're working towards switching and measuring the water pumps. Also, it seems like we are able to track the water usage once we have that under control, with 30 like 30 milliliters precision, which is insane, right? So it's going well. Great prototype.
Não desastre sua polícia.